set, and then you start the pomp. I'll give you a 1 and a 2 beats for the broils. And then don't forget for the pomp. I'll just give you 2 beats. I will just give you 2 beats for the pomp also.
Good morning. Please be seated. I am honored to be among the first today to congratulate this outstanding group of graduates, Carleton class of 2016. And a very hearty welcome and thank you to all the families and friends of this outstanding class. Singer and poet Carrie Newcomer writes about the experience of moving forward into new places with all that one has become. Addition. My father taught me about numbers, how to carry forward what had grown too large for its column, add the 5 to the 7, carry forward the 10, leaving only the 2. It is like that, taking all you've come through, combining everything gathered and lost, add to the sum a little kindness for doing the best you could with what you knew at the time. Tally up all the 5s and 7s, all the 6s and 4s, all that came up odd or even. Then carry forward your expanded self, which has grown beyond the limits of the first container. Nothing is ever truly gone. It only changes places. Thank you.
Good morning. Let me begin by congratulating the great class of 2016. Yeah, absolutely. The bestowal of your Carleton degrees, just minutes away now, is the culmination of years of intellectual exertion and persistence. Certain that our talented faculty have done their job well, I know that we've shaken your fondest assumptions time and again and led you into new scholarly terrain. We've helped you see when you've stumbled into intellectual box canyons and taught you how to find your way out with skill, confidence, and even grace. It may seem that the course you've taken to graduation had more twists, turns, sandbars, and reefs than the Mississippi River, but now you've arrived at your point of debarkation, your own St. Louis or St. Paul, so to speak. Or is it your point of embarkation on a next journey? Because as every caricature of a hackneyed and vapid graduation speech asserts, receiving your degree is but the first step of the exciting career and life that lie ahead. Yeah, I think I'll stick with that embarkation metaphor, and finishing with the requisite cliches, urge you to blaze a bold new trail into the vistas that open widely before you. I'm drawing on all this rather obvious Western pioneer imagery because I want you to think of your Carleton experience and the ways that the faculty and I hope you will use your degree as the real-life version of the classic children's educational computer game, The Oregon Trail. Bear with me, for I have concluded that Oregon Trail is a brilliant metaphor for the essential elements and the enduring value of an undergraduate liberal arts experience. In this game, the player assumes the role of a leader, guiding a party of settlers from Independence, Missouri to Oregon's Willamette Valley via Conestoga wagon. It teaches a bit about American history, the challenges and vagaries of pioneer life in the 1840s, and, if you are successfully to reach your destination, about smart and forward-looking decision-making. You may also know that Oregon Trail was invented by 3 Carleton undergraduates, Don Rawwich, Bill Heineman, and Paul Dillenberger, all from the class of 1972. Here are the key ways that studying at Carleton is like playing Oregon Trail. In the game, a critical early choice is how much and what type of gear and provisions to take. Certainly one needs a wagon, horses, or oxen to pull your vehicles, axes, rifles, medicines, and other necessities that cannot be purchased except perhaps at usurious prices later on. But the more lavishly equipped one's party at the outset, the more of one's treasury is expended, and the heavier and the bulkier the loads that are being conveyed. Nevertheless, most successful players choose to double down with larger stocks of supplies and potentially valuable cargo. This is analogous to decisions about what subjects to load up on at Carleton. Our 3-term calendar calls for students to take 36 courses, more than at many peer colleges. This is the equivalent of extra academic provisions. Our curriculum demands intellectual breadth. Think of our quantitative reasoning, arts practice, language, and other requirements as the additional quinine and ammunition and spare wagon axles the settlers take on in Missouri, only to realize later how essential they would be. And finally, like helpful and wise trail outfitters, your advisors urged you to take courses across a wide range of topics and gain new perspectives whose values will also be revealed in unanticipated times and ways. So you're admirably prepared to set forth. A second set of key decisions in Oregon Trail involve timing, when to depart and how fast to push west. If you leave too early, crossing a semi-frozen river can be a prelude to disaster. If you start out too late or proceed too slowly, you may end up stranded in the Rockies or the Cascades, facing starvation as the winter arrives. Success at Carleton and in postgraduate life also demands careful consideration of timing. You've had to learn how to pace yourself over the course of a 10-week term and across the academic year, where our winter term may have left you feeling a little bit like you're in the Donner Party at times. You've had to determine the optimal moment to push ahead aggressively with papers and projects, whether to study off campus, and how to balance commitments in different classes. You must draw on these same skills to navigate the shoals of pressing deadlines and to set priorities in your professional lives, not unlike taking the calculated risk in the game to caulk up your wagon and ford the Upper Platte. Success in Oregon Trail requires the broad perspective I mentioned earlier, to choose wisely among different routes across the prairies and mountains. That's your general education. And also the specific knowledge, this is your major, necessary to make a series of choices about whether to barter at trading posts and on what terms, how to treat illnesses, how to interact with Native American communities you encounter, and how to respond to the inevitable crises our alums programmed into the game. Every day of the trip, players must decide whether to take the time to hunt, fish, and gather edible plants. The trade-off, of course, is between pushing for the final destination and seeking more robust sustenance. There's an obvious analogy here to making the time at Carleton to benefit from involvement in sports teams, clubs, campus causes, and volunteer service. For many of you, such co-curricular activities have immeasurably enriched your classroom learning. And just like the wagon master is responsible for an entire party of pioneers, the leadership roles you've assumed at Carleton have taught you responsibility and accountability. This is exactly how Carleton aspires to instill in its graduates habits of civic engagement and the pursuit of a positive social impact. No party makes it to Oregon without being significantly shaped by the journey. And even in this, the computer game has parallels to a residential college experience. We've purposefully asked you to make your way through Carleton with a diverse set of individuals whose experiences, ideas, and values differ from your own, and who will illuminate you and sometimes convince you to change. We see this as a tough but essential part of learning and personal growth. It hasn't been all campfire songs and s'mores in other ways, too, because some of us have struggled, lagged behind, or been wounded as we've proceeded. All of us have had to listen to, tend to, and trust one another. But confronting and mastering hardships together forges iron bonds of camaraderie and friendship. I and the other faculty and staff who've had the privilege of teaching and mentoring you, in Oregon Trail parlance, your scouts and guides, All of us also devoutly hope that you will maintain similar lifelong bonds with us. We shall take immeasurable pride in watching you make wonderful lives in your own virtual Willamette River valleys, wherever they may be and whatever form they may take. And we're ever willing and eager to help you strike out in search of new adventures. Now, I've surely ridden my Oregon Trail metaphor to exhaustion in making these points about the nature and the transcendent impact of your Carleton education. But I would not have the audience think that I only choose to draw upon a computer game as inspiration for my speech. College presidents are supposed to be much more erudite. And to that end, I want to close my reading and draw some final observations from Ishmael Reed's poem, Points of View. The poet writes, "The pioneers and the Indians disagree about a lot of things. For example, the pioneer says that when you meet a bear in the woods, you should yell at him, and if that doesn't work, you should fell him. The Indians say that you should whisper to him softly and call him by loving nicknames. No one's bothered to ask the bear what he thinks." Carleton class of 2016, your task, your pressing responsibility is now to be the ones who track down and question the world's bears, seeking what they have to tell us. Do not fall into binary ways of thinking or framing issues or problems. Do not accept conventional or convenient explanations. Rather, it is incumbent upon you to use the precious gift of your liberal arts education, to draw upon the skills you have been taught, the knowledge you have acquired, and the habits and qualities of mind you have cultivated here, to seek the most truthful and the most useful answers to significant social and scholarly problems, with the hope of improving our world and our lives. As you do this with integrity and compassion, you will make and keep us all as proud of you as we are today. Thank you. Let me now introduce our first student speaker. Drew Higgins, an environmental studies major from Greenwich, Connecticut. After graduation, she will be moving to Boulder, Colorado for an internship with Climbing magazine. Drew's speech is entitled, "The Importance of Narratives."
Thank you, President Poskanzer, and welcome all. Before I begin, I would just like to briefly acknowledge the passing and absence of a member of our class, Zach Mitchell. I lived with Zach in Canoe House, Carleton's outdoor interest house. He was a loyal friend and a passionate student, and his absence, today in particular, I know saddens our community deeply. Thank you. First, like all good speeches, I will open with an apology. To my classmates, I'm sorry. Some of you I've never had the pleasure of knowing, and you have to sit through me, a relative stranger with equal life experience, or perhaps less, who knows, pontificating and telling you what I think about our Carleton experience. For this reason, I confess to mostly hating graduation speeches, and yes, I do realize the irony of that. But you kind of hate them too, don't you? A little, because they're cliche and they're sappy. Not all, but most. Too often, I think, they aim to generalize a graduate's entire 4 years, to perfectly define and distill the wealth of our experiences into advice that we must heed as we leave this pristine, collegiate, and very, very humid quad. To me, this just feels wrong. I fundamentally dislike anything that generalizes our lived experiences, especially when it generalizes them into some modeling montage. Who am I to tell you what this place and these years have meant to you? For all of us, it's different, which is part of the greatness of Carleton, that we've all had our own experiences here. Because of the majors we selected, the activities we pursued, or the company we kept, because of who we are. Regardless, we've been given the freedom to have those experiences, and this community has chosen to celebrate, not demean, the diversity of experience among us. Don't mistake me. I'm under no illusions that we do so perfectly. We don't. But we try to. We at the very least believe it's important to, and that's worth being grateful for. That's more than many other institutions. Yes, there are things that bond us that we've shared. Of course there are. We've shared this campus with its stately oak trees and distinguished chapel. We've shared devoted professors we've admired and ones we griped about over Moodle posts. We've shared joy, the joy of the first real day of spring in Minnesota, of concerts and roplats and unexpected Friday flowers. When you edit out all the taxing, trying parts of college, sub-zero winters, occasional and not so occasional loneliness, the quiet, unnoticed moments of hard work and exhaustion in the bowels of the lib, I do have to say that it is a very nice montage. If we are to stomach montage, Carleton's is not a bad one to stomach. But to my point, for me, the joy of dancing to Smash Mouth or T-Pain or whoever, while obviously beloved in my memory, feels minor in comparison to 1,000 other joys I've known here. Small things, a run along the cannon, every dinner I had on the front porch of Canoe House. That time my roommate woke me up by yelling, "Drew, there's a cat on my bed," when Lyman was traipsing around her pillow at 5 a.m. These are joys I know, but there are so many other joys that only you know. These are things that Carleton has meant to me, but only you know what it means to you. We all have the right to our own narratives, and maybe you know how Carleton fits into yours, but probably you're still parsing it out, and rightly so. Our narratives evolve in the continuum of our experiences. They shape our views, perspectives, and beliefs, and they should not be generalized, lumped together, or ignored in a 5-minute graduation speech or elsewhere. You needn't look further than the polarization of our political system for an example of what happens when they are. It does not matter where you fall on the political spectrum, if anywhere, when we demean the differences between us, we feed anger and we fuel hatred, and we end up with problems like, but not limited to, Donald Trump. And it is, on some level, not even about demeaning. It is, on some level, not even about demeaning. It's about not listening. To be deaf to some narratives means creating the kind of culture where select stories are put on pedestals and others are tossed aside. So I'm talking about graduation speeches, but you are all intelligent people. You know what a metaphor is. And so you know that I'm speaking in somewhat veiled terms about larger issues: xenophobia, racism, hierarchies of oppression, the importance of diversity and discourse. My classmates, thankfully, engage frequently with these ideas, academically and otherwise, and I don't wish to delve into them now, if only because they warrant so much more attention than the minutes I've been allotted. But I believe, and I posit to you that, at the heart of these problems and conversations, which often feel so looming and amorphous, there are people. There are narratives that we must value and seek to know, even when they are foreign to us, especially when they are foreign to us. As a writer for the Carletonian, I interviewed and spoke with people at Carleton I never envisioned I would. Students, deans, security officers, Northfield neighbors. I once even wrote a story about a loose chicken that was wandering around the dorms. And it changed the way I perceived this place, the people, not the chicken. And I'm never short of amazed by the power of stories to do that. This idea is related to and much more eloquently expressed by American author Jonathan Franzen in his 2012 essay, Pain Won't Kill You. Franzen is a bit of a curmudgeon, and his essay centers around his love of birding, so take that as you will. But at the end of it, he writes, quote, "When you stay in your room and rage or sneer or shrug your shoulders, as I did for many years, the world and its problems are impossibly daunting. But when you go out and put yourself in real relation to real people, there's a very real danger you might end up loving some of them. And who knows what might happen to you then? Who knows what might happen to you then? My 4 years at Carleton have in many ways been a long process of answering that question, of getting out of my room, metaphorically as well as literally, and putting myself in relation to the very real people in front of me. I only hope that I have listened to them half as well as they have listened to me. Congratulations to the class of 2016, and thank you.
Thank you, Drew. That was a very thoughtful and wise speech. Our second speaker this morning is Daniel Bollinger. He's a sociology and anthropology major from Baltimore, Maryland. The title of his speech is Risk.
Hi. So, excuse me. I'll be pausing for a brief intermission to give everyone a chance to get some water and for all the people who are hungover to, recover a little bit. So, when I sat down to write this speech, I realized that I have absolutely no idea what I was doing. So I reached out to friends, family, and mentors to ask for advice. What makes a great speech? For the most part, I got generic truisms like speak from the heart, don't try to force it, write what you know. Or my personal favorite, never start with a definition. So I decided to write something that came unforced from the heart based on what I know. And what came most naturally was that I really wanted to begin with a definition. So I would like to ignore the advice of my friends and mentors one last time and begin with this. Webster's dictionary defines risk as the possibility that something bad or unpleasant will happen. I'll return to that particular definition later. So as I was sifting through my Carleton memories, I was surprised by how often I returned to risk, this concept. It has meant different things at different times, but it shows up again and again. Just the word itself brings up several images to me. In a concrete sense, Risk is an incredible board game that builds alliances and destroys friendships. Although I have to say, as a bit of an aside, I've rarely seen a group of Carls get so worked up as when discussing various Settlers of Catan strategies. If you ever want to have a little fun with people here, the next time you hear a group talking about Settlers, just say loudly enough that they can hear, "Nah, man, it's all about the sheep game," and walk away. That'll get them almost as excited as if you told them that Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Jessica Williams, and Al Franken are drifting around Northfield in a Nissan Leaf, handing out climate justice, donuts, and stunning critiques of dominant neoliberal discourses that shroud growing global wealth inequalities behind sanitized notions of freedom and opportunity. See, that little satire was a bit of a risk. You can't escape it. Risk is all around us. I, for example, have been told that I take many unnecessary risks, or stupid risks, as they're probably more appropriately called. Those people are correct. I like to tell people that it's not entirely my fault, however, and thanks to my time here at Carleton, I finally have some data to back me up. In a genetics lab, we PCR'd a particular gene that determined a dopamine receptor. A mutation in this gene was supposed to be associated with higher risk-taking. So we sequenced this gene, took a personality questionnaire, and then compared the results. My southern blot was supposed to tell me whether we had this mutation or not, but mine just had one spot. Now, to come clean, I'd screwed up the concentration of my PCR tube, so I wasn't even entirely sure that I had gotten any of my DNA in there. And so I was just happy that there was something there, human DNA or otherwise. So I was caught completely by surprise when Stefan's Zweifel asked me what it meant. After some incoherent rambling, he took pity on me and kindly told me that I had a double dose of the risk-taking mutation, a fact that my questionnaire and general life course has firmly corroborated. So all I can say is, Mom and Dad, I know I've given you your fair share of scares over the years, but you reap what you sow, as they say. Whatever the reason, I'm incredibly grateful for this particular personality trait. Without it, I would never have made the decision to come to a school in the middle of rural Minnesota that I'd heard about on an internet listicle where I didn't know anybody halfway across the continent from everything I was comfortable with. I took a gamble, and it proved one of the best decisions that I've ever made. Here, I made some of my strongest friendships, encountered entirely new ideas, became someone wholly different than who I was before. Suddenly, I was living in an environment where a person could dance through sales with one of his best friends on a random Tuesday afternoon, blasting Kool and the Gang on a boombox, and people barely looked up from their homework. This is a place where a person could shave their head into a mohawk mullet on a whim, where after a particularly strenuous athletic event honoring a certain thespian's character in Sideways, a group of friends could run naked into the Cannon River in jubilation, only to realize that the water level in mid-June barely reaches the knees. This is a place where someone could come naked to their college commencement. Come on, it's 95 degrees. I know one of you out there is rocking the birthday suit. and where a kid on your freshman floor could slip effortlessly from preferred muscle-building supplements to his love of Russian literature in one conversation. This is a weird place, a trying place, a flawed place, a community completely of its own. But that risk almost 5 years ago paid off in ways innumerable, and I'm eternally thankful to my naive, stubborn, and ridiculous 17-year-old self for making at least one great decision at that point in time. And as I look forward, I'm hopeful. I'm excited to see what risks I can take, what other incredible experiences are waiting for me. I took a gamble on the future, and it brought me here. So I don't believe that risk should always be seen so negatively. I'm sure that there are difficult or unpleasant things ahead. There are mistakes to be made, but also new Carletons, new places to go, and new people to meet. And so all I can say is thank you. Thank you to my professors, to my friends, to all of you for giving me this awesome gift that, as President Poskanzer so eloquently said earlier. Now it's time to put some more funny stories in a speech. Let's all take some risks.
Thanks, Daniel. Well done. We move now to the awarding of an honorary degree, which is the highest academic honor that Carleton can bestow. As your commencement program notes, the college awards such degrees sparingly, selecting recipients with great care. Today, we honor Alan Page, a distinguished justice of the Minnesota Supreme Court. I would like to invite Carleton's professor of political science, Greg Marfleet, to join me in introducing Justice Page.
Thank you, President Poskanzer. A native of Canton, Ohio, Alan Page earned a bachelor's degree in political science from the University of Notre Dame and a law degree from the University of Minnesota. He worked for the Minneapolis law firm of Lindquist and Venham and for the Minnesota Attorney General's office before his election to the Minnesota Supreme Court in 1992. When he was elected to the court, he became the first African American to serve on that tribunal. When he was reelected in 1998, he garnered more votes than any candidate in the court's history. As a jurist, Alan Page was celebrated for thoughtful, direct, and well-reasoned opinions. Justice Page's legal career is exemplary, but it is even more impressive by virtue of the fact that it is his second superlative career. For Mr. Page had already acquired legendary status as a collegiate All-American, stalwart anchor of the Minnesota Vikings defense, six-time All-Pro tackle, and in 1971, the most valuable player of the National Football League. Today, though, Alan Page's athletic exploits involve daily runs near his home, where, according to local legend, he is pursued not by embarrassed offensive linemen, but rather by excited neighborhood dogs who greet him because he has carried biscuits for them for 30 years. The gridiron never did and never could come close to defining Alan Page. On and off the bench, Justice Page has been a clarion voice for justice, civil rights, and equal opportunity. Together with his wife, Diane, he created the Page Education Foundation to enable Minnesota students of color to pursue college degrees. The foundation has awarded more than $12 million in scholarships through 6,500 grants. A striking aspect of this program, and a signal of the Page's commitment to social mobility, is that these grants carry with them the obligation to give back to one's community through mentoring younger students and other service projects. Alan Page's involvement in education extends well beyond his philanthropy. He has spent countless hours as an elementary school reading buddy and drawn upon his own creativity and humor to co-author with his schoolteacher daughter Cammie 2 children's books, the proceeds of which also support the Page Foundation. President Poskanzer, member of the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, graduating seniors, and guests, I am pleased to present Alan Page.
Alan Page, wise and enlightened jurist, one-time Purple People Eater, sousaphone player, philanthropist, author, and champion for the power of education to transform lives. You embody the liberal arts ideal of an ever-curious and well-rounded citizen leader whose talents and whose impact extend far beyond a narrow specialty. You inspire us to blend intellect, integrity, and passion in pursuit of a better and more just society. Although you are already an inductee of many halls of fame, today Carleton proudly embraces and welcomes you into the halls and groves of academe. By the authority vested in me by the state of Minnesota and by the Board of Trustees of Carleton College, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, together with all of the rights, responsibilities, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Good morning. Boy, that was a slow response. Let me, before I begin my prepared remarks, just make one comment before I forget. Keeping with the theme of bears, having been a former, or being a former Chicago bear, I would just offer one piece of advice for all the graduates to remember. Some days you will eat the bear, and some days the bear will eat you. President Poskanzer, members of the Board of Trustees, class of 2016, thank you for the warmth of your reception, as well as the honor you bestow on me today. Although the honor reinforces and validates the things that I have sought to do, such recognition has always made me a little uncomfortable. And I have never been sure that I am worthy. Thank you also for allowing me to share my thoughts with you on this beautiful morning. And I say beautiful, it's a little humid, but yesterday I spent the morning on a golf course and the afternoon on a football field clinic with young children, and it was 94 degrees. So this actually doesn't feel too bad. Things are always relative. But let me say thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts with you on this special day. Finally, let me say a special thank you to the 23 Page Scholars who have attended Carleton over the years and who have made such a difference in the world. Now, the day that I received my undergraduate degree, it would not have occurred to anyone present that one day I might be speaking to a graduating class such as yours as a former justice of the Minnesota Supreme Court. But like the path that brought me to this moment, the path that each of you graduates will take will provide an opportunity for you to accomplish that which you could never have imagined possible. The key to whatever success I've had can be found in an unwillingness to be satisfied with playing to the level of the competition, a willingness to push beyond my self-perceived limitations, and a willingness to be involved in the community around me. To the class of 2016, let me say congratulations for a job well done. Your preparation and hard work have paid off, and you should be proud. What a wonderful gift you have given yourselves. Now, I can appreciate the conflicting emotions that you're probably feeling, from the relief of having no more lectures, finals, or tuition, to the anticipation coupled with a little fear that comes with new beginnings, to a sense of accomplishment and pride that we all share this morning, and the fear that your graduation speaker will drone on forever, saying nothing of relevance and prolonging the moment until the real celebration can begin. Recognizing that what I say may well not be long remembered, normally I would focus my remarks on the future, on hope and the role that each of us can play in making the future better and brighter. Today I want to focus on something a little bit different, something that I perceive to be a clear and present danger to our future. That something is the decline in both our political and our general discourse. Sometimes we look around and it seems that things are topsy-turvy. We see greed, a lack of civility, political leaders saying one thing but then doing something entirely different, and lately the acceptance of a politician whose bullying tactics, putting aside his politics, are becoming normalized. If bullying is acceptable conduct for someone seeking the highest office in the land, why isn't it acceptable conduct for the average Jane or Joe? I believe that what we're seeing and what we've been seeing for some time in athletics, I believe that what we are seeing is pretty much the same as we've been seeing in athletics for a number of years. It's the equivalent of the intimidation and taunting seen on athletic fields. To me, this reflects and is symptomatic of a real decline in our character. The American Heritage Dictionary defines character as moral or ethical strength, integrity, fortitude. In a sense, character is who we are at our core. It's what determines what we believe and how we respond to any given situation. Character is not something that we're born with, nor does it develop automatically. It must be consciously developed. Nor is it something that is static. Whether you're 50 or 15, 5 or 75, whether you're a member of the Carleton faculty or staff, one of today's graduates, a family member or friend of a graduate, or a former Supreme Court justice, you will be forced to reevaluate and renew your character again and again. To resist the pressures and temptations that seduce us to make the easy choices rather than the right choices. To be a person of character takes a strong person. Now, I don't mean strong in the physical sense, for physical stature really has nothing to do with character. I do mean strong in the sense of believing that each one of us has an obligation to act in ways that builds rather than diminishes our character and the character of those around us. That means we must be honest and trustworthy, saying what we mean and meaning what we say. It means keeping our promises, playing fairly, telling the truth, making decisions with others in mind, always treating people with respect and respecting ourselves. It means working to figure out the difference between right and wrong and then acting accordingly. The fact that I was once considered to be a great football player or that I am a former Supreme Court justice doesn't by itself mean that I am a man of good character. The fact that the color of my skin may be different from yours doesn't mean that I am not a man of good character. The fact that your language, religion, or gender may be different from mine doesn't make either one of our characters better or worse. The outward differences which identify us as individuals do not define the content of our character. It is defined by how we act on an ongoing basis. Through our actions, we have the power to impact not only our own character, but the character of those around us. The values you graduates have learned from parents, mentors, and Carleton, I would call it Carleton character, will serve you and society well as you go forward to make a difference in the world. That is a challenge I leave with you. Again, thank you and congratulations to the class of 2016.
terrific speech. Thank you so much. Now, to the pinnacle of today's ceremony. Before the Dean of Students presents the graduating class to the Assembly for recognition, I invite the Chair of the Board of Trustees, Jack Eugster, from the class of 1967, to come forward for a few remarks.
Well, good morning. The trustees of Carleton work hard to support and guide the college, giving of their time, their knowledge, and their resources. Several of our trustees are here with us today, so would you please stand and can we give them a round of applause, please? Last year, I had the opportunity to visit Antarctica. In preparation for the trip, I read Carleton President Larry Gould's book titled Cold. Seems inappropriate today, doesn't it? It described Gould's 1928 trip to Antarctica as the number 2 on a research team headed by Admiral Richard Byrd. Gould, on his own, led a special expedition which involved a small 1,500-mile trek across the Ross Ice Shelf and to the Queen Maud Mountains. It was an arduous effort. It was filled with bad weather, cold, of course, and the fact that they were lost several times and couldn't find food that was dropped from an airplane for them. Yet Gould found his goal, Mount Nansen. As you might expect of a fine geologist, his plan was to climb Mount Nansen and determine its mineral makeup. What a long and dangerous effort he embarked upon. His ever-present curiosity drove him, and his undaunted courage kept his team alive, and in some cases just barely. Gould had great respect for Fridtjof Nansen, who was 35 years his senior. Now listen to this. Nansen was an intrepid explorer scientist, a philanthropist, and the winner of a Nobel Peace Prize. In 1959, in honor of Nansen, Gould had a quote of Nansen's placed on the wall of the reading room in the new Gould Library, just over there. And some 57 years later, it's still there. I wonder how many of you have read it, but if you get a chance, go read it. Nansen opined, and I will paraphrase, "The history of the human race is a continuous struggle from darkness toward light. Mankind simply wants to know. We are curious, aren't we? We're a curious lot. Graduates, I'm sure you came to Carleton with a well-honed, curious mind. I'm equally sure Carleton's remarkable professors strengthened your desire to know. So be curious and enjoy a lifetime of learning. And if you do, undoubtedly you'll become important leaders in whatever field that you choose, and Carleton will be proud." And now I invite Dr. Carolyn Livingston, the Vice President for Student Life and Dean of Students, to please present the graduating class.
Will the senior class please rise? Chairman Eugster, I wish to present the graduating class of 2016. These persons have completed the requirements for graduation and have been recommended by the faculty to the Board of Trustees for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Now here comes the fun part. By the authority vested in me by the state of Minnesota and the trustees of Carleton College, te gradu baccalaureae, artium nunc dono. I hereby confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts. Et ad Omnio ira te admitto atque de effici isis. These are hard words. And my professor leader wants me to do Greek. Now we'll stick with Latin. Munera tibi memoro ad hunc gradum pertinentia, and admit you to all the rights and remind you of the responsibilities and the obligations of that degree. Congratulations.
So will the first row of the left section come to the platform, please, and the rest of the class may be seated. Jackson Thomas Poland Bond. Emily Ann Balcheski. Nelson Charles Bandy. Elena Ann Colette Bars. Jonah Anthony Castaneda Berry. Kirsten Samantha Barton. Annabelle Jean Batten. Eric Michael Bauer. Charlotte Hart Bill. Josephine R. Bill. Aleka Jean Bradfold Beck. Camille Matina Benson. Michaela Alexa Bisich. Chloe M. Bergstrand. Thomas Birchinger. Sweta Bhatia. Mariana H. Bible. Laura Jean Press Beester. Julia A. Bendler. Jeffrey Mehola Bisoy Matisse. Grace Julia Wilson Black. Maya Lene Black. Cody Michael Bowman. Daniel, I'm sorry. Daniel Edmund Bollinger. Thanks, buddy. Blossom Mariah Booth. Anais Alina Boyd. Camille Michelle Braun. Jonathan David Brody. John K. Bromell. Sophie Hammond Buckmuller. Alec John Bunnell. Noah Barack Bunnell. Joseph Roach Burson. Henrik Lars Burliv. Thomas Kirkland Cahill. Jordan Frankfurt Kahn. Giselle Yvonne Calderon. Reed Camerata. Amelia Marie Campbell. Caroline Townsend Campbell. Todd Fitzgerald Campbell, Jr. Adam Kennedy. Michaela Ray Quinamon Carpenter. Felicity Renata Baxter Carroll. Isabel Tyseen Carter. Kathleen Iva Casados. Alexandra Rose Caulfield. Anthony Jacob Cava. Peter Albert Sentner. Alexandra Catherine Chang. Sophia Clarissa Chang. Samantha Catherine Chow. William Allen Longhurst Chapman. Megan Elizabeth Chavez. Robert Weijia Chin. Alexander Michael Chen. Patatara Fan Jirituwat. Onyu Choi. Anna C. Sish. Senya Ray Combs. Brendan Boyd Cook in absentia. Michaela R. Coulomb. Alina Mariska Crankshaw. Elsa Ann Alexandra Cristoforo. Catherine Ray Croftman. Michael G. Crowell. Eric N. Dahlquist. Connor. Dylan Linares Culp. Connor Ryan Dale. Mara Jane Daly. Elizabeth Ray Davis. Grace Kelsey Davis. John Spencer Davis. Keelan Gloria Davis. Camila de la Vega. Sunit Dewan. Vincent William Dozuti. J. Laura Hello Khan Dizon. David Doe. Vivian Doe. Eleanor Elizabeth Dullier. Sally Donovan. Allie Dulles. Owen Thomas Duncan. Abigail Hannah Fagus Easton. John Andrew Eckert. Claire Frances Edgley. Lily Marie Eisenthal. Molly Mackenzie Ellsworth. Joshua Ryan Elmore. Robert L. Emmett. Brian Noah Engelstein. Patrick Harston England. Eric Alexander Ewing. Charles Mateus Schrank Ironman. Jennifer Faring. Thomas Ricky Felton. Gretchen Emily Fernholz. Elizabeth Ann Ferris. Eleanor Fireside Ostergaard. Jeremy Adams Fisher. Erica Fitzpatrick. Caleb Eisenflack. Maxwell Cullen Fickner. Tanner Scott Fliss. Jamana Salima Flowers. Natasha Alexis Flowers. Marielle Elizabeth Sorum Foster. John McGrain Fox. Samuel Lee Frederick. Emma Isabel Freeman. Maxwell Harry Fryer. William Keith French. Carolyn Marie Friedhoff. William Fritz. Colin Philip Froines. Edgar Joel Garcia. Veronica Garcia. Caitlin Gillard Gardner. Taylor William G. Ricky Gong. Kathleen Judy George. Grace Elizabeth Gilmore. Sophie Lynn Glassford. Megan Claire Gleason. Elizabeth Dakota Glickson. Lee Xander Gonzalez in absentia. Barrett Henson Gooch. Devin Elise Graham. Maeve Creighton Graham. Samuel Evan Greaves. Jonathan Cronkite Green. Nora Johnson Greger. Stephen Nicholas Greenwich. Anne Elizabeth Gross. Justin Alexander Grossman. Sophie Adele Grossman. Xiao Yu Gu in absentia. Angelie Carolina Guevara. Youngshan Guo. Andrew Charles Gustafson. Joseph Philip Hazy. Michael Edel Archibald Haberman. Brandon Michael Higgins. William Nicholas Hall. Danielle L. Hamalainen. Peter T. Haynes. John Marshall Hanley. Carrie Ann Hansen. Russell Anthony Hansen. Sarah Elizabeth Hastings. Samuel Hayward. Eric Alexander Hazery. Jody Jaha. Michael Andrew Heflin. Kurt Thomas Heisey. Teresa Marie Heights. Abigail Simon Hellman. Lydia Jeanette Henderson. Brian Patrick Herlihy. Adisa Herrera. Takashi Hidaka. Elizabeth Drew Higgins. Jacob Barnett Hollyman. Joy Victoria Hill. Samuel Moon Hin. Haley Aaron Hines. Benjamin J. Hiskus. Claire Zafasimanya. Hayim, I'm sorry. Simpaway Charles Loaf in abstention. Michelle Hannah Hughes Hoagie. Julia Rose Holowinski. Madeline Jean Horn. Hart Robert Horner Jones. Evan Lee Howard. Kai Wong. Jackson Timothy Hudgens. Emma Francis Hughes. Margaret Seidel Hum. Isabel Leganor Bebo. Jess Ebry. John Robert Emon Petke. Aman Mohammed Irfananla. Michelle Irikira. Scott Christopher Brandon Jameson. Yon Sik Jang. Eric Lance Johnson. Stephen Patrick Johnson. Ella Sweet Johnston. Sarah McCook Jordan. Wilson Isaac Josephson. Ian John Kapelke. Sari Marie Casper. Nora Anderson Katz. Shira Kaufman. Robert A. Kaler. Samuel Halsey Kellogg. Claire Ann Kellaway. Casper Shannon Kelly. Prasida Kotka. Charlie Thomas Kilman. Madeline Butler King. Megan Marie King. Dean J. Konetzker. Aiden Joseph Canuck. Celeste Rose Copy. Catherine Marie Koza. Brian Douglas Kramers. Kristen J. Kresnar. Julia Liebman Kroll. Robert Dakota Crosser. Julia Krumholtz. Alexander Kulaki. Joanne Wambari Korea. Edward Kwiatkowski. Adam John LaCroix. Valerie Jeanette Lambert. Austin Infante Lane. Haley Mitchell Langaki. Aiden Robin Larson. Caroline Anna Loth. Clara Daly Letsky. Dahi Lee. Jack Lee. J.N. Lee. Stephanie Lee. Sunyun Lee. Abhimanyu Lee. David E. Limbersky. Madeline Jane Lewis. Jung Lee Young Lim. Kenneth Justin Lim. Kara Chi Wei Ling. Joseph Michael Lipstone. Julia Barrett Lisi. Tian Lu. Yun Leo. Nathan Matz Livingston. Margaret Miggins Lloyd. Benjamin Maxfield Longchamp. Stuart Benzie Laurie. Nicoletta Lovarso. Jaluin Loa. Walter Len. Kawatan Manir Masadu. Nicole George Magatz. Jason Packridge Magaziner. Lindsay Kirk Maine. Kylie James Michael Mackey. Henry Dillon Mailer. Brandon Lamar Marks. Rachel Kohler Martin. Nayeli Edith Martinez. Gabi Martinez. Adrian Eustace Mason. Michelle Mastriani. Philip Peter J. Max-Einer. Patrick Shigeo Mayeda. George Tadashi Macanini. Madison Lee McBride. Colleen Elizabeth McCarty. Brandon P. McGarity. Helen Marie Cooper McHugh. In absentia, Catherine McKenzie. Elizabeth Grace McNeely. Miranda Sage Mead Newton. Alice May. Sarah Miriam Meister. Matthew Allen Mensinker. Ian George Mercer. Arnold Tommy Methapara. Sawyer Henry Middleear. Laura Milanez. Andre Field Miller. Darcy Garner Mishkine. Sage Elizabeth Mitch. Hikaru Mizuno. Sarah Catherine Monahan. Anya Rena Muradine. Almeda Hana More Sanders. Jeremiah Martin Morarty. Garo Voskin Mugalian. In absentia. Sean Michael Mullen. Margalo Lume Molinet. Kelsey Mullins in absentia. Emir Muritanhulu. Brent Alexander Murcia. Christian Paul Neji. Christian Kate Nasser. Hannah Jean Nailwith. Brandon John Nelson. Ben Duck Wen in absentia. Shaylin Faye Wen. Benjamin James Nicola. Roberto Daniel Nivas. Ryan Michael Arnilio. Christopher William Newtonbaum. Sarah Driscoll Norden. Alexandra Rose Norvette. Olivia Grace Oberly. Hallie Margaret Ojala Barrett. Evan Ainsworth Olaski. Timothy David Olson. Gabriela Guadalupe Olvera. Daniel Patrick O'Neill Jr. Kristen Nicole Orth. Risako Owen. Alexis Mary Papke. Nathaniel C. Park. Dylan Samko Edwards Payne. Claire Margaret Pennington. Shanti Bhattacharya Pinpraise. John Westbrook Percival. Elizabeth Katie Peterson. Emily LaFrance Phillips Longley. Catherine Elizabeth Phillips. David Story Pickhart. Raven Pillman. Benjamin Joseph Plata. Jordan Marie Pruzinski. Lisa Q. Brianna Grace Quincy. Hannah Mary Quinn. Ibrahim Shujat Rubani. Victoria Elizabeth Rachmaninoff. David Clinton Racine. Morgan Yves Marie Affray. Zazuki Nishimorima Gade in absentia. Shraddha Raghavan. I'm no Raina in absentia. Lindsay Elizabeth Rand. Omar Reyes. Morgan Camille Richmond. Caroline Lee Roberts. Elaine Michelle Rock. Nathan Giffen Rocky. Andrew Rogers. Lucia Amelia Rodriguez. Nelson Johnstone Rohrbach. Jeffrey David Rosen. Emma Audrine Roseby. Erin Grace Roth. Evan Samuel Rothman. Zachary Franklin Rubin. Emma Louise Russ. Benjamin James Russell. Lucas P. Ryan. Aaron Walter Selah. Brittany Merced Watson Salazar. Samantha Rose Saltzman. Hannah Elizabeth Sanchez. Roberto Stephen Sandy Camarna. Kabir Sarjan. Grace Marie Sasana. Margaret Elizabeth Sauer. Margaret Alice Schaff. Sarah Ann Schulberg. Barrett Hendrickson Shirkey. Rebecca Lane Scribner. Tamar Segev. Leah Claire Sarah Dion. Isaac Leon Shapiro. Skylar Truesdale Schur in absentia. Ashley Che Shen. Cameron Meyer Shorb. Casey Shields Short. Austin Dean Showen. Bing Shue. Annie Adele Center. Joseph Alfred Sloat. Maura Catherine Smith. Bectu Solomon. Z. Schmo. Sam Spaeth. Tyler Paul Spaeth. William Shelton Sparks. Jacob Maxwell Spear. Dana Wells Spencer. Olivia Claire Spencer. Emily Jo Spoden. Pratiksha Shri Nivasa. Abigail Peterson Starr. Emily Eming Starr. Ruth Catherine Steinke. Chad Schaefer Stevenson. Gabrielle Annika Steenstra. Benjamin Leonard Strauss. Nathaniel Allen Strauss. Yi Shun Su. Ray Su. Christopher Ely Sunquist. Emily Rose Sunag. Erwin Soiree. Ayumi Tachida. Sarah Wei-Ying Tong. Melanie Top. Silas C. Taylor. Dawn Janine Thomas. Jacob W. Thornburg. Hayden P. Tornabene. Douglas Josiah Totten. Don Quang Tran. Terrence Porter Truex. Winghay Agnes Chet. Hayden Young Sutsoi. John Christopher Trozillo. Erica Tiaji. Raul Navin Upal. Delaney Christian Vale. Joseph R. Van Kahn. Andrew James Van Zoren. Yuriko Stella Vaughn. Maximiliano Villarreal. Emma Catherine Vanilla Brusher. Samuel Adam Beniski. Jack Anthony Violetta. Caroline Day Von Klepperer. Catherine Genevieve Wagner. Lindsay K. Walters. Gail Joanna Waltz. Ning Wang in absentia. Jacob T. Wasserman. Jessica Kate Weaver. Lucia Ann Webb. Lindsay Catherine Weber. Benjamin David Woodine. Ryan Wagner. Hatan Wei. Benjamin Weiss. Dylan Meyer Wells. Hannah Wren Wells. Alexander Coffin Wellner. Samuel Edward West. Laura Lenore Westneat. Mary Rose Weatherall. Mason Phobes White. Samuel W. White. Joseph Stewart Wickert. Forrest Fakes Williams. Tanaya Catherine Wilson Charles. Miriam Curran Wolf. Florence Chihong Wong. Cameron Johnson Wright. Wu Yui Wu in absentia. Andrew Zian Yang. Chi-Long Scott Yang. Shui Yang in absentia. Ya Chang Yang in absentia. Jacob Wise Yanoviak. Richard Michael Yecker. Angelina Yick. Catherine Jiyoung Yim. Sung Jung Yu. Jin Shang Yu in absentia. Joyce Yu. Phoebe Yu. Yue Zhang. Zilu Zhang. Jerry Ezao. Yaking Zhu in absentia. Ming Zi. Jordan Zolmer. So many members of this class have received academic distinctions. The awarding of the distinction summa cum laude, however, is the highest academic honor conferred by the college. To obtain this award, a student must have demonstrated excellence insight, and creativity in nearly all courses throughout their 4 years. It is a Carleton tradition to honor these students at the end of our commencement ceremony. Chairman Eugster, it is a pleasure to present Phan Quat Wei Ding, Mara Rachel Finkelstein, Ada Kathleen Leisher Wasco, Natalie L. Kingston, Breen Chi En Ling, Courtney Marie Lunger, Ilana Joy Mishkin, Dana Margaret Nightinger, Florence Emily Pollard, and Riley Ann Simon. Please join me in congratulating the class of 2016.
So we're really proud of you, but it's also the fact that each one of these impressive graduates is here today because of parents, siblings, extended family, and other loved ones whose support made their academic achievements possible. So would the graduates please join with me in saluting all of these very special people. I'd now like to ask Chaplain Carolyn Fure-Slocum to come forward to present the valedictory.
Like many of you graduates, now alumni, poet Seamus Heaney is both realistic and idealistic about the state of the world and the possibilities of change. The Cure at Troy. Human beings suffer. They torture one another. They get hurt and get hard. No poem or play or song can fully right a wrong inflicted and endured. The innocent in jails beat on their bars together. A hunger striker's father stands in the graveyard dumb. The police widow in veils faints at the funeral home. History says, don't hope on this side of the grave. But then, once in a lifetime, the longed-for tidal wave of justice can rise up, and hope and history rhyme. So hope for a great sea change on the far side of revenge. Believe that a further shore is reachable from here. Believe in miracles and cures and healing wells. Call miracles self-healing, the utter self-revealing double take of feeling. If there's a fire on the mountain, or lightning and storm, and a God speaks from the sky, that means someone is hearing the outcry and the birth cry of new life at its term. Graduates, May hope and history rhyme in your time. May you be part of the outcry and the birth cry of new life at its term. Blessings on your journey and best wishes, Carleton class of 2016.
I now invite everyone to stand and to join in the singing of the alma mater, which will be led by the Carleton Commencement Band. You will find the words printed inside the back cover of your program. As we conclude this commencement ceremony, I would like to offer a final benediction to our graduates. May the friends that you've made here stay with you forever. May the mentors that you found here be a source of future guidance. May the knowledge that you've gained here shape and add joy to your life. And may Carleton always hold a special place in your heart. Carleton class of 2016, I wish you good luck and Godspeed. Congratulations.